It's something about, yeah, a haircut is whatever, you're just fucking getting a haircut. But I think that there's something very powerful behind that, because I think that you have to be very comfortable with yourself to trust that, regardless of how much your image may change, in terms of who's looking at you and what you even think about yourself, who you are stands firm. You know what I mean? So no matter if I'm wearing short hair, long hair, whatever, if I cut my hair, I'm still bad, I'm still a baddie out here. So yes, girl, shout out to you. If I must be honest with you, I felt like the Cardi Offset thing was a trigger for me. Oh yes, and this is a pull-up. I felt like the Cardi Offset thing was a trigger for me. And here's why. I felt like it was a trigger for me because, who amongst us hasn't had a moment where it's like, should I get back with this person? Should I do this? Like, should I get back with this person? I mean, how do I know? Because right now it's just like, I love them. I believe, but when you unpack some of that, sometimes you get to realize that maybe the reasons that you want to be with someone aren't that necessarily, aren't really based on the whole idea of the duration of a relationship. It's kind of more based off like, I possess this person and I don't want to lose that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to start over, and I don't want to do this, and I feel like I've invested time. I mean, who amongst us hasn't been there where it's like, I feel like I invested time, and quite frankly, this relationship needs to yield something, whatever it is that is. And I started to think about, how do you know when is the right time to take somebody back? Or not even the timing, but what is it that you should be looking for you to say, you know what, I've walked away from this relationship previously. How do I know that coming back to this relationship won't be the same kind of toxicity or a replay of the hurt or betrayal or, or just whatever didn't work in the first place? How do you know? And, after doing a little soul searching of my own and a little research, I kind of came up with a list and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, and this is in no specific order, but, here are the reasons, or if you are looking for whether or not you should get back in a relationship, that may have been damaged or severed, for whatever reason. How do you know that you should get back with someone? Okay, so number one, and this is in no particular order, as I said, it's just behaviors that you should look for. Number one, the person is wanting to atone for their behavior or whatever it was that severed the bond between you and that person. When you say the word atone, basically the meaning behind that is this person wants to make amends. They basically want to right the wrongs, so to speak, of whatever behavior that they exhibited that was the cause of severing the relationship in the first place. And the reason why this is important is because if you are dealing with someone who doesn't want to change the behavior that caused the severing in the first place, then this person is basically going to get back with you to repeat the toxicity. Okay. I just wanted to pause for a minute to make sure you got it. Okay. So, number two, the person not only wants to atone, but they want to take accountability. They want to say to you, or they do say to you, hey, I acknowledge my part. I acknowledge my behavior. I acknowledge, and it is important that this person, that you get a firm understanding that this person understands what behavior was exhibited, what was the actual cause of the severing. And the only way that you can be assured of that is to actually hear it in a qualified state that the person understands what it is that they're taking accountability for, what behavior it is that they're owning. Number 3, the person must have a proven track record of rehabilitation. Now, the reason why this is important is if you think about Cardi and Offset, the behavior that caused the severing, which is the cheating, the betrayal, and the lying, because those things are kind of like the triple threat of the nigga Illuminati, or the fuck boys, if you will. They are oftentimes triple threats in that way. But the whole idea is that this person is not feeding you a bunch of lip service about the things that they're going to do. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to call you more. I'm going to want to do this more. I'm going to want to communicate more. Because the whole idea is it's not about the promise for the future. It is about the consistency of the behavior now. Are you working, currently working, meaning doing right now? Are you working on rehabilitating yourself from the standpoint of the behaviors that you exhibited that caused the mistrust? So are you reading a book? Are you seeking therapy? Are you what are you doing? Right? Okay. So number 4. Now this one is up for debate, but I think that this is important, and I'm going to tell you why. So number 4 is, are you more happy, or are you more content or more positive than you were during the relationship? Now, here's the reason why I say this. Anyone who is working on themselves is going to be in a mentally and emotionally better place. They're going to seem more happy. People who are working on themselves, people who are gaining, who are working towards getting a better understanding of themselves so they can, by proxy, just be better people from an empathic standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, even from a spiritual standpoint. People who are working on themselves tend to be happier people. Now, if you aren't doing the emotional work on yourself, then you're probably going to be someone who tends to be a little bit more abusive because you're not working on yourselves, and you're basically just throwing that to anyone, because you have to know that when you give that to someone, they feel it. And that's just a reflection of how you feel about yourself, right? So, I mean, I said it's up for debate, but definitely I believe that people who are working on themselves tend to be happier people. Okay. Now, I would love to hear your guys' ideas in terms of how do you know you should go back, or how do you know that the relationship is worth salvaging? Okay. So, one of the other things is that the person who is the offender understands that the consistency of their behavior does not serve to basically nullify the whole idea that, oh, okay, so if I do this now, then I can basically manipulate my way back into this relationship by basically doing what this person wants me to do right now, knowing damn well that I'm not going to continue it. So someone who is about consistency is basically who you're going to want to deal with. You're going to want to deal with someone who is definitely being more consistent. Consistency is key. Someone who's being more consistent doesn't have time for the mental manipulation, the guilt, and the lack of respect. So that's just my thing right there. Nothing too much, but I'm saying those are the behaviors that I would look for. And I think that, I don't know Cardi and Offset's life. I do think that, like, you guys put your personal information out there in terms of your relationship status. And yeah, you do have a lot of people weighing in because of it. So please don't bring this, oh, y'all don't know, y'all don't have no right to say anything. We also don't have any right to know, but you damn sure did let us know. So because of that, it's a learning moment for all of us. Listen, you know how I feel about these celebrities. I feel like whenever they do these bullshits and it's just out there for all of us to see, I think that we should take a moment and go into the Reading Rainbow corner and not be fools. Let's learn from their mistakes. Why don't we? Oh my goodness. So listen, you guys, enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas. And I'll be back before the new year. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love it when we get together because no one understands us like us. Oh, mi amor, I love you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm practicing my Sofia Vergara voice. What do you think? I'm telling you, I keep telling you niggas, I have a career in voiceovers. Oh, enjoy. Thank you so much for listening. Right? All right, whatever. I'll see you niggas next week. Peace.